everyone, welcome to 28 Sports Show here on TV Sapienza. Of course, on 28 Sports Show, we talk to the teenagers, tweenies, and we discuss issues that affect them. The essence of this program is to reach out to teenagers because we've come to realize that teenagers, they have a lot of challenges, growing up, puberty, becoming a teenager, growing into a young adult. They have challenges that always, they face these challenges. And we are here to help them to overcome these hurdles to become an amazing individual and a great adult. I am Oma, your very sweet alone radio and TV. And today on 28 Sports Show, I have the lovely and beautiful Auntie Ogonna.
Thank you so much.
Glad to be here with us.
Same here.
So how are you?
I'm fine.
I can remember the last time you were here.
What happened about it?
That time we talked about, there were certain things you talked that day that I even learned from.
Really?
Yes, we are talking about academic success because school just resumed.
Yes.
Moving from old class to a new class.
Yes.
That time you came, we talked about students who moved from JS1 to JS2,
yes,
JS2 to JS3,
yes,
to SS1 to. You said a lot of things that I never saw it in that light.
Really?
Honestly, and I'm glad to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much.
So Auntie Ogonna is actually a teacher, an English teacher, and she's had a lot of things to say. And she has a lot of experiences when it comes to managing and teaching teenagers. Once again, welcome. So today on the program, we are looking at we are also looking at academic success.
Yes.
But here we are looking at peer pressure.
Okay.
Because before we came on set, we were talking about it.
Yes.
At one point or the other, even me, even you,
yes,
we've all been challenged. I like using that word challenge. We've all been challenged by our peers.
Yes.
This peer pressure, growing up, I remember my parents telling me, don't ever join the bad gang. Don't ever join people that are not intelligent. Make sure you only make intelligent people your friends.
Yes.
And I keep questioning. I've asked you that question. I'm still going to ask you that question.
Yes.
An intelligent person makes friend with an unintelligent person.
Yes.
The intelligent person, is he or she not supposed to rub off on the unintelligent person? Why is it that the unintelligent person will now affect the intelligent person negatively? Why is that?
First of all, there is this, we know that in our society today, the negative always tends to thrive faster than the positive. Because an intelligent person not being able to influence an unintelligent person, there's so much to that.
Okay.
First of all, if you as an intelligent person does not have the willpower to convert an unintelligent person, the reverse will be the case.
Okay.
Because the unintelligent person may have the willpower to equally influence you.
Okay.
Thereby you yourself, you may be intelligent. With the lack of that willpower, you cannot exert any influence on the unintelligent.
Okay.
So the first thing here is the personality of that person.
Okay.
Be you intelligent, be you unintelligent. What is your personality like? And your personality stems from so many backgrounds. Where you grew up from. If you grew up in a home where your self-esteem was highly boosted, always encouraged by your parents, there is this tendency that no one, in fact, it will be very, very hard for people to influence you negatively.
Yeah.
But if you're coming from a home where you're always disapproved of, you don't feel loved, maybe the parents are always busy, they don't even notice you. That child may, because of that child won't have that right measure of confidence to stand on her own, not to talk of even influencing another person.
Great. So actually, in as a matter of fact,
yes,
the intelligent child, teenager, should actually not be friends with the unintelligent teenager.
No, it's not that you should not be friends with them. You can be, okay, let me use the right words. There's a difference between friends and contemporaries.
Okay.
A contemporary is someone you talk to. You can talk
Like an
to
acquaintance.
an acquaintance. You
Okay.
can talk to everybody,
Okay.
but not everybody should be your friend.
Okay.
So if you see that the ideology, the values of the person you call a friend is always against your own values and it affects your academic performance negatively, you don't have to continue being friends with such a person, because they say, tell me your friend, I'll show you who you are. Choose your friends wisely. So before you can call that person a friend, you people must have been doing things together.
Okay.
And that thing you are doing together, is it actually going to help you in your academics or not? So I wouldn't want to say you shouldn't be friends with the person, but if you see that you being friends with that person is going to affect you negatively, come on, why should you be friends with that person? You need to just move ahead.
Now we come to a class where there is an intelligent girl or a boy,
Yes.
okay, and you find out to a large extent it usually happens. In fact, I've seen it happen in different secondary school settings.
Okay.
This boy, this girl is very intelligent,
Okay.
and the moment this boy or this girl starts hanging out, not really hanging out, maybe during break, they go out, they buy stuff from school canteen, and they start having discussion, somehow that other people starts rubbing off on the intelligent person. Why is that? Why is that?
To some extent, first of all, we need to understand what this peer pressure is.
Okay.
Because peer pressure is a passage. At a stage in your life, once you become a teenager, you must pass through that peer pressure. And there are many. Okay, what is peer pressure? Peer first is people of the same age with you.
Okay.
These are people you may be in the same class with, in the same hostel with, in terms of being a burden.
A burden school.
Do you understand? So now, another thing, what is that pressure? The influence those people can have on you. And there are many causes. In fact, let me start with, there are types of this peer pressure.
Okay.
There is the direct peer pressure.
Okay.
The direct peer pressure is when someone comes to you and dictates how you should do your thing.
Okay.
Because there are some friends like that.
It actually happens.
Yes.
It happens in secondary schools.
There are some friends that are like that, that will come to you and tell you what to do. As in, if you don't do that, that means you're not their friend.
Yes.
Identify such pressure. There is this indirect peer pressure, where you as a person, you are the cause of your own pressure. You are trying to fit in. You're trying to fit in. You want to know, okay, this is what is trending. Oh, boycotting class, being truant in class, stealing, lying, fighting is what is trending. If I don't do it, I don't belong. Oh, let me do it so that I'll belong. That one, you wouldn't say anybody pushed you. You actually pushed yourself into that pressure. And now, what are those causes? Because if you don't know the causes of this peer pressure, you may not even know when you are being entangled in one.
Yeah.
One is being curious.
Okay.
Being adventurous. A child being
adventurous. Is it bad to be curious? Is it bad to be adventurous?
To some extent, it is. But there's this word that says curiosity kills the cat. Have you ever heard of that saying?
I've heard about it, but if someone is not curious, if all these inventors, if they are not curious, we will have all these things we are having.
Beautiful, but there is this level of curiosity you have.
Maybe curiosity in the negative part.
In the negative part.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing me to that. If you are curious about, okay, what is trending? What is happening? What's going on? Why is it that these people don't really see me as a friend? Or what can I do for these people to see me as a friend? That's curiosity.
The wrong way.
The wrong way. The negative curiosity. So, you as a child, if you are curious towards the negative things, you tend to even sway yourself into those negativities.
Yeah.
Then another one is your upbringing.
Okay.
Where you come from. I've said it before. A child's upbringing has, to a larger extent, because the first agent of socialization is the family.
Yeah.
So the child's upbringing matters so much to whether that child, if the child is away from the family, what becomes of that child.
Of the child.
So if that child within the family, maybe the parents didn't give that child a good value foundation, the right things, do this is the right way to live, this is the people you should call your friends, this is what upholds our family, this is what is expected of you as a child. Some parents don't talk to their children. All they care about is what is your school fees like, how much is it, and that child is off to school. And there is nothing that child is holding back from with and be like, okay, my parents said I should do this, my parents said I shouldn't do this. So that child, once that child gets into the school, you see that
Anything
the next
goes.
people training the child is the peers.
Oh my goodness.
So that's another cause of this peer pressure and negative peer pressure. That's it. So if you're able to identify some of these causes, I think I've mentioned the curiosity aspect.
Yeah, you have
the
adventurous,
the
negative parts.
Then again, if the school itself does not have a laid down rules and regulation that will to some extent curb this what will I call it, negativity from the students.
Okay, is it possible for there to be a school that does not have rules and regulations?
Every school have rules, but the thing is implementation.
Okay,
are they actually implementing it?
Yeah,
you see a school that there's no school without rules and regulation. But which school is following that rules and regulation?
Okay,
is it when the teachers are less concerned, nonchalant, or maybe the management is not even noticing what is going wrong within the school? That way, that is another way that child can easily be swayed to that negative peer pressure, because nobody is watching out for them, and there is no penalty to the crimes they perpetrate. So these are the causes of this negative peer pressure. First of all, if you understand this, you as a child will be able to know, okay, I should take my curiosity to the right level.
Good, great.
Do you understand?
Great.
I should take my curiosity to the right level. And what is that? That I've come to learn.
Yeah.
And if there is anything for me to inquire or always look out for, it should be things that will equally help my academics. So there are friends that you meet. If you meet that, see that those people are not thinking alike with you, you just need to leave that.
I want to come in from there.
Okay.
I remember in secondary school, there are this group of students. You know that if you don't obey their whims and caprices, you're in trouble.
Yes.
Now, for an intelligent child, intelligent teenager, how can he or she know and believe that these people are your peers? Oh, they can't do anything. Oh. The highest that will happen. What's the highest that will even happen?
I wonder.
But what's the highest that will even happen?
I wonder. Disapproval. A kind of maybe, well, I say ostracizing the child.
Who? By their
peers. Own peers. Maybe that's what they're always afraid of.
Okay.
So if you want to come in that angle, that's where it boils down to the child's personality.
Okay.
Can you stand where? Can you really put yourself? Can you stand out away from the crowd?
Okay.
Because you don't need everybody's approval.
Approval and validation.
You don't need it. You need to know that, first of all, when you got your admission into the school, you come alone. You didn't come with anybody.
Exactly.
So have it at the back of your mind that for you to achieve this, that your results sheet will come as with only your name imprinted on it. If you think that maybe your result sheet will come with the names of your friends attached to it, this one helped me in maths, this one is never going to happen. So you need to tell yourself, identify who you are. Tell yourself that without this negative influence, you can be somebody in your environment. And have it at the back of your mind that the main reason why you came to school is to study and not to make friends. Friends are just part of, the social aspect of your own life. But the major reason why you came there is your academy. So I don't see the reason why you now say, okay, because some people make themselves high and mighty. At the end of the day, go and check all those people that made themselves high and mighty in school, where they end up. So if you know where you are going to, and know that that place is the right channel or the right place to be, forget the distractions of your peers if it is negative. Because I believe there are still good peer pressures.
Yeah.
There are people
Really?
that very well. There are people you mingle with. They will even make you form good reading habits with those people.
Yeah.
There are people you make friends with. They try to, push up that your positive values that came from home. And there are some friends you be with, and before you sleep, you'll be like, let us pray together. Such friends are not abomination for you to have with you. So it mustn't be the ones that will hail you with some nicknames, calling all those things. You mustn't be with such people, because if you check it, majority of them, their academic performance is always low.
Yeah.
And they don't care. So you don't need those people if you actually know where you're coming from. And that is where the parents need to. I don't know why I'm always concerned with the parents in everything I say, because a child did not come out of nowhere.
Okay.
The child came from somewhere. If that child must be good, it starts from the parental upbringing
And care.
Parents should stop being too busy to pay attention to their children right from their childhood. Train up a child in the way he should, and even if the child grows up, the child will never depart from it. The legacies you leave for your children while they were with you at home will follow them into the school. And again, if you notice that your child is someone that, to some extent, the child doesn't have that much willpower. It's not every. I like being frank. It's not every child that should be a burden.
Okay. How? What do you mean? Because I know you've taught in school.
Yes, I've taught in a school where there are boarders and there are day students.
Okay.
It's not every child that can stand the influence that comes with boarding house.
What kind of influence are we talking about?
If you see your child, first of all, when you notice that your child is that kind of vulnerable personality that is easily swayed to do things, you need that parental supervision on that child.
Okay.
That child mustn't be a border. If that child must be a border, it must be under a strict guardianship of a teacher or the hostel mistress.
Okay.
Because if care is not taken, so many children that tend to move into this negative peer pressure influence are the vulnerable ones.
Okay.
Not the ones that can easily say no. At least there are some children that if the child is maybe of age to enter secondary school, some are matured minded.
Yeah.
But not all that enter secondary school are matured minded for the things that come with secondary school. For the challenges. So there are so many things. You might decide, okay, let me still supervise my child to like SS1. By then, you must have done what you're supposed to do as a parent. And if that child is now entering in SS1 as a border, you know the level of what you have done with your child. Your child can stand out where it is, wherever that influence comes from.
Yes.
So that's just one of the things I want to say.
Let's add something else.
Okay.
What can a teenager who is watching us right now, what can a teenager do? You've emphasized so much on this willpower. Willpower, it doesn't fall from the skies. Okay, and people don't just wake up to have that willpower. Even amazingly, even adults, there are peer pressures in adults.
Yes.
You know that. Yeah, there are peer. I even found out that the peer pressures in adults is even greater.
Yes, it is.
So a teenager that cannot control peer pressure, negative peer pressure, will still not control it in the adulthood.
Yes.
So now, growing up as a teenager, what can a teenager do to learn this act of standing out, saying no when it really matters, and willpower? That's the act of willpower.
Okay, when you say what the teenager can do,
as a teacher, yes. I mean, you formed a lot of students.
Yes.
In your formation of students, what do you usually advise them to do?
Before they can actually do something, there needs to be an external influence.
Okay.
Now, in a school, every good school should have a guidance and counselor.
Is it still working?
It should be working.
When I was in secondary school, it wasn't working. In fact, let me shock you. Our guidance and counselor, I still remember that their little cubicle where their office is. They don't even have time for us in secondary school.
I have a different view of that.
Please do.
From my own secondary school, because I believe that part of the things that helped me, I schooled in a federal government college.
Okay.
Part of the things that helped me, both in my career choice and everything, was our guidance counselor.
Wow.
Then. Yes, because they always do it a kind of thing in JS3.
Okay.
They have seminars with us, workshops, where they try to like sensitize us on the subjects and courses you can use that subject to study.
Oh.
So I was able to know where I'm going to, right from my JS3.
Favored you.
And again, the thing there is, if that office, one who is handling that office, are you actually doing your job? Because I believe the one I had then in my school, the man was doing his job very, very well.
Okay.
Even we could go to him and make some complaints.
Wow.
And he was working, he had an assistant. But I believe we noticed him more than the assistant. So the thing is, there's a huge work on the part of the guidance counselor, because before any child can know what to do about herself in this situation, there's need to have a self-awareness.
Yeah.
And it's the work of the guidance counselor to help them to know who they are. If some children are growing up without even knowing who they are,
and
they just think they're existing.
And it still stems from
home. Everything I'm saying will still go. It's just that maybe when we come to school, we are now trying to put it on the guidance counselor. But the first guidance counselor of a child is the mother and the father. Okay, now,
giving. Some parents, they don't have time. Giving.
Yes, so that is
what do we do?
That is where that
for a child, a teenager who has kind of, should I call it absentee parents? There are teenagers whose parents don't have time. Is the truth. What can they do?
First of all, that child, if a child exists.
Looks like I'm asking a lot of questions.
No.
Let's finish with this. How a child can grow and have that willpower.
Yes. The child has to be aware of herself.
Okay.
And she cannot be aware of herself on her own.
Okay.
Someone has to help her.
Okay.
The guidance counselor, yes.
In school.
Yes. Then the teachers also should be able to notice some of these vulnerable students in their classrooms.
Okay.
And equally keep them closer.
Okay.
Because there are students you will see, you know that this child is good. At least in JS1, I know of a certain student then, when my time in Regina Purchase. I know there was this certain student, JS1, JS2, she was very, very, very quiet, calm. At some point when she was now getting to the senior class, we noticed that, her behavior started changing. Unfortunately, I never formed her as a student.
Okay.
Because I know if I did, I would have been able to identify her personally, have a closer relationship with her. The teachers need to have a closer relationship with their students. Because if you notice that child that used to be good, trailing from the right path, is now your work as a teacher
to find out
the reason. Happened. What is that? Because sometimes they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
That child may not even know that he or she is already derailing from the right path. You help that child.
Okay.
And as you're helping that child, you try to boost the child's confidence to have that willpower to say no. No. Give with reasons. And the reasons is when you try to bring the future closer to the child's doorstep. Let that child understand the pros and cons to whatever choices he or she makes. So, because some of them do this, they think that they are just trending for the moment.
Yeah.
In the process of trending for the moment, they move into what is more negative and severe that they can't even come out of it. Before they can come out of it, they need the help of a lot of things to come out of it.
I can't believe that we've spent time here.
And I'm really enjoying the whole thing.
I can't believe that we've spent time.
I am.
Do you know we've spent like 26 minutes here?
Really?
I'm telling you.
I didn't even feel it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So quickly, 2 minutes now. Quickly, for the intelligent child, for the intelligent teenager. Okay. What can they actually do to ensure that they are not influenced negatively?
First, they should, as an intelligent child, stand your ground on what you know. Stand your ground on what you are already doing that is very, very positive for you. Learn to say no when that negative influence comes. Talk to a teacher. Always confide in your teachers. Confide in your parents if you go home. Don't be secretive in any way. Even if you notice anything happening around you and you know that thing is not going to actually help you in your academics, communicate with the right personnel. Don't confide on your peers because your peers can never advise you.
They are your peers.
Right? They are your people of the same you cannot advise each other. So seek help from the higher authorities.
Now, for a child, for a teenager whose parents are not always available, what can they do?
If they are in school, they should make the teachers their friend. They should confide in their teachers. Good. And they should let their teachers know what they are actually going through at home. Because sometimes when these children try to like give us a picture of what is going on in their schools, we always invite their parents over.
Like in our home?
What is going on at home?
At home,
If they tell us what they are actually experiencing at home, and we see that thing is going to be a negative influence on the child's well-being and future, the school will always invite the parents. So if you feel there is something happening at home that keeps you away from being who you should be, that positive you confide in your teachers, because we always come to your help and invite your parents.
That's great. So there is hope, definitely.
There is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope. But just another thing is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Know that the only reason why you came to school is to study. That's the chief main reason why you're there, and not to be gallivanting with anybody as a friend.
Now you're talking like a real teacher. if we cannot conclude this program without you saying this. Now you just spoke like the real teacher. Thank you so much, Auntie Ogonna, for coming through. Thank you so much, and we look forward to having you another time on 20 Sports Show. You've heard it all from Auntie Ogonna. The chief reason why you're in school as a teenager is to study, not to gallivant. That word gallivant. Oh my goodness. If a teacher says something and not tell you stop gallivanting, she has not said something. Thank you so much, Auntie Ogonna. Of course, 20 Sports Show will be here again next week, and it promises to be amazing. I have been Oma, you're very sweet at On Radio and TV, and with me, my guest, Auntie Ogonna. She's an English teacher. Auntie Ogonna, is that right?
Yes. Eze Uzoma, because I'm married.
Okay.
Eze Uzoma. Uzoma is my husband's name.
Okay, all right. Glad to have you here with us.
Same
I
here.
can't stop saying thank you. All right, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next time on 20 Sports Show from me and Auntie Ogonna. Bye-bye.
Bye.